What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome, and today we're going to be looking at something different, something that comes every once in a new moon, as it should be, because these things cost like almost a wave of Marvel Legends, but it's just one figure. And today we're here with PlayArt Sky from Final Fantasy VII Remake, Aerith Gainsborough. Got this figure from Japan. They sent me an email last Monday 19th saying that, hey, your figure is here, now fork up the money, dude. Then shipped out the next day, 20th, and arrived at my doorstep 2 days later, 22nd. See? As if it didn't came from Japan. And as always, the box is premiumly packed as it should be. The box has that, hey, I'm not that cheap type vibe. Now before we proceed to the rest of the things that we should cover, for those who didn't know, like who doesn't know Aerith at this point of their lives, of course, people who don't play video games. But I'm gonna tell you anyway. Aerith is a Final Fantasy VII character. Obviously, it's what it says in the box, and she's one of the how do I explain this? Playable characters in the game. And she's no damsel in distress. I'ma tell you that because despite the very innocent-looking face, like she's a girl from the slums and takes care of flowers from the ruins of something like a church. She gon' whoop your ass, man. She's got this dual baseball bat kind of weapon, and believe me, if you mess with her, she's gonna kill you with it. And she was adopted by someone from the slums of Midgar when her real mother died when they were running away from being continuously experimented on by Shinra. Her mother's body couldn't take the strain anymore with all those experiments and died shortly after arriving at the last stop of the train station in the slums. Later on, she and the rest of the party found out that she's the last of the ancients that could help save the planet from destruction. And then the mighty legendary Sephiroth arrived with this Masamune and then did the deed. Is that still like spoiler? Am I spoiling things? Because at this point, everybody knows what happened, right? This franchise has been around for 24 years and can still people call it spoilers? And so, Darkness, the end. Her perspective stops there. So there's nothing to continue. She's no Cloud Strife who saw things until the end. And with that, the beginning of this review begins. We got Aerith's beautiful cover at the front. On the sides, it says Final Fantasy VII Remake, PlayArt Sky, Aerith Gainsborough. At the top, here's a quick look at the bottom. And here's a look at the back. And here's a look of Aerith while inside the packaging, beautiful as ever. And some read up about Aerith. Go ahead and pause it if you want to read it. And finally, let's get this thing open. Accessories first. We have a wicker basket of flowers, and the whole sculpt is not a joke. The minute details are there, every flower has been sculpted and painted. But the most impressive part personally is the wicker basket. It's not just painted, the knitting is embossed, which is very impressive, and the added shading is what made it more realistic, as if it's actually needed. The specific weapon that we have here is the introductory weapon for Aerith, which is the guard stick. Now it's on the simplistic side. I'm not even sure if this is 100% accurate, but that's not really important to me. We'll get into the most important bit later. But for the weapon, we have two slotted materials on both opposite sides, and it's articulated, or call it what you will. This is removable, so you can do whatever purpose you want to do with it. And before I forget, there's an indent or notch that you have to line up before putting it back together. Not sure if you can see that, but be careful with it or you'll risk breaking it. So you just need to line it up. Next is a set of alternate hands for your alternate posing fetishes. I'm glad that I didn't have any of those QC issues where people would randomly get the same left or right hands. Or did I? I did not. Thank God for that. And finally, for the alternate heads or faceplates, they're beautifully done, no questions about it. With all the debacle going on with Tifa's final output, I was so hesitant after that for Aerith because what if she had the same issues, but then all that BS isn't here. I'm glad that Square did it right the first time. Aerith's face shape on both heads is correct. It's not elongated like a mango similar to Tifa's. Print on both eyes for the Series faceplate is very well done. It's similar quality with Cloud's. And then the raise your hands to heaven praying head is also great. And I wouldn't forget to mention about the manual for those who wants to read it first before messing with their play arts in fear of breaking something. The community understands, so it's fine if you're one of those. Play arts prices demands extra care for your figures. So there's that. And now for the most important bit, our main gal, Aerith. So what can I say? Do I need to say something? Just look at it. Look at it. Now moving on to the articulation. Just kidding. Alright, so we'll go ahead with head or faceplate first. Since basically we have 3 faceplates. And the default one is the neutral face that's already on the main figure, which is this one. So same, I have no complaint about it. It's been done right. This looks very much like Aerith on the game. Minor complaint is the necklace. Some areas are faded. It's the one issue I've immediately noticed from the photos I've seen on the internet. It wasn't 100% perfectly applied, but nothing we can do about it anymore. Now, I'm not really an expert when it comes to paint, so personally, the hair is great. Every sculpted strands is very well done, and the ribbon has been shaded so it wouldn't look like just a plain bland pink ribbon. And again, not expert when it comes to paints, but I like the skin tone application. Nothing else needs to be said. Jacket is well done with the shading as well. It looks realistic enough to me. No other red flags. Ha! Red. The bangles are floating pieces so you can move them around and hide the wrist articulation. And the main banger when it comes to detail for me is the dress. It's not just a plain pink dress. I'm not really sure if you can see it on camera. It's got tiny details that are going on here and there. The designs are embossed. If you look closely all the way down, it's mighty impressive. And lastly, the boots. I couldn't say impressively enough. The price has been justified by all of the details that are going on with this figure, as it should, because I'm saying this again, these figures are expensive as hell. All the straps and buckles are good. No further complaints. Unfortunately, bottom part is not sculpted, and there's those 2 big circular things that look like they were gonna put peg holes but decided to cancel on the last minute, so they filled those in. So now for the articulation. This is the correct way or usage for doing the dumbbell joints. The bottom part is exposed so the actual peg would have more headroom to move the main head around, and the neck is made of softer material so it would be able to provide further range of movement. But in reality, the head can only look up this much because of Aerith's hair from her nape. Down is fine, rotation is possible, and it has a lot of tilting because of the proper dumbbell usage. Ponytail is articulated, hinges up, down, and swivels. The arms, similar to Tifa's, have drop-down articulation, so that would mean more range of movement. The arms can rotate, however, you have to pull the drop-down first and then angle it a bit before you can go ahead and rotate the arms. We have bicep swivels very well hidden by the jacket. We have the new Play Art Sky double jointed elbows that can bend almost 180 degrees. And we have those kind of wrist hinge joints that I mostly see from import figures, which I don't really like for reasons of being flimsy and easy to break if not handled with extra amount of care. Those are thin as hell. God, I hope everyone can follow the Hasbro style of wrist hinges. While it doesn't guarantee not breaking, for me it seems sturdier. So the wrist can hinge up and down and also rotates. For the torso, I thought that the dress would be just one whole piece with no articulation. So I'm very impressed seeing the diaphragm cut so she could do all kinds of poses to her upper torso. So the ball joint allows for a circular motion side to side. Crunches forward only this much, leans back only that much. And for the pervs out there, she's got articulated legs inside that dress. And oh god, I didn't know there's still plastic left in there. So there you go. Aerith actually has a waist articulation inside, though it's gonna be a bit of a hassle moving because of all the dress. So yes, she can kick forward, back, splits, though that would really look awkward. Thigh swivels. We also have the new Playart Sky double jointed knees. And for the calf and feet articulation, Square went ahead to combine those two and assemble the joint before the boot, so it serves as your calf swivel and foot hinge, losing the ankle rocker. And it kind of pivots, but not as good as how Hasbro does it with their 6-inch action figure lines. But let's not forget about the toe articulation. Aerith stands at about under or exactly 9.5 inches. Here's how tall Aerith is compared to a 112 scale 6-inch Marvel Legends. We have the Iron Man Mark III from the Infinity Saga and another Hasbro product from the Star Wars Black Series, Kylo Ren from The Force Awakens. We have her with the older players Not Kai, Joker, and Harley Quinn from the Arkham Asylum. Yes, the older ones are smaller in scale. That's crazy decision making right there. Here we have her with Playart Sky Harley from Arkham Knight, and the rest of the only remake figures that I have from my collection, June 2021 release Tifa and V2 Cloud. Before we do my closing remarks, shout out to my brother from my real mother and my cuz who's always first to watch, like, comment, and share my videos. Thanks for looking out. And to my brother from another mother, thanks for looking out. Always take care. Be seeing you in a few. Alright? So what I liked about this figure is how it was made right the first time and everything about it. The skin tone applied to Aerith would have lessened the gripes if it was also applied with Tifa's. I really have no other further complaints aside from the imperfect necklace paint and the flimsy imperfect wrist hinges. Aerith has been beautifully done in action figure form. I mean, who doesn't like Aerith? I know I like Tifa better, but she ain't done right in play arts form. Glad she's not lacking in some other parts, you know what I mean? Aerith may not have Tifa's prowess, but she's also got a lot of fight in her. And like I said, she's no Cloud Strife who saw things until the end, but who knows with all the things that Square is doing to the franchise. They're Kingdom Hearting this thing, so maybe it'll end differently for her and Zack, but really, who knows. That's it for the review, guys. If you liked my review, please click like. Don't forget to subscribe if you like watching Playart Sky and Marvel Legends action figure reviews, and maybe other stuff. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Here we have her with Playart Sky Carly from Arkham.